What is employee stock option? Should you take a job at a company that offers employee stock option? To help us decide, let's take a look in the day of the life of our little yellow friend, Mr. Chu.
That concludes the interview process, Mr. Chu. We really think you will be great fit for the Pokemon Company. You are so bright and yellow. Do you have any questions, or would you like to start next Monday?
It sounds like a truly great opportunity. I had a few questions about the paying, though. I don't recall us discussing that.
Oh, sure. We here at the Pokemon Company pride ourselves on hiring quality employees and do everything we can to let our employees know they are a valuable part of the company. That is why we use employee stock option as payment.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, you don't know about stock option?
Employee stock option is the practice of offering company stock as compensation for employee labor, instead of or in addition to traditional cash wages.
Oh, wow. So will I have the ownership in the company?
Exactly. It is a small amount of ownership, but since all the employees have some ownership, we can make good decisions collectively for the company.
That is kind of weird though, isn't it? One of the employees just to make selfish decisions that hurt the company?
Oh no, not at all. Since we all have ownership, we feel more part of the company and want it to succeed. That's why you will only find positive people with huge smiles working here. Smiles everywhere. No depressing people here who hates their job and work misery for weekly check. No. You see, the more successful the company is, the more our company shares will be worth. That means the company's success makes everybody happy.
What? You mean the value of the stock can change? Then it could go down to could it? I don't think that will work for me. I have 3 kids to feed and they rely on my income. I can't afford to gamble my living wages.
Oh, I understand, cutie. Trust me though, the employee stock option system is perfect. It accounts for a situation just like yours. If you are worried about your stock losing value, then all you have to do is sell it for cash. When it is issued, it will be just like earning wages.
Oh, what a relief.
But you know, I always say you have to go big to build a big future. You don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck for your entire life. The great thing about employee stock option is you can sell the shares you need to, but keep some others saved up. The Pokemon Company's stock continues to increase in value each year, and years from now, your stock value will probably have quadrupled. Why I plan to retire on mine.
Retirement, that sounds pretty great.
It isn't just about retirement though, because issuing stock doesn't directly affect the company's cash flow. It isn't easy. It's easy to give employees bonuses, while I get bonuses all the time.
You know, you're right. Sometimes a little bit of risk does pay off. Go big or go home. This sounds so great. I would definitely take the job. I look forward to starting on Monday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I can't wait to meet my friend for lunch so I can tell her about my new job. I bet she was never heard of employee stock option. Hello, good to see you.
Hi, how did your interview go?
It went great. I took the job, but you know, it is different from any job I have had before. Instead of just paying you cash, they give you ownership in the company. You can have a say in how the company treats its employees and increase the value of your ownership in the company.
Wait, hold on. You're not talking about employee stock option, are you?
Why, yes. I'm surprised you have heard of it.
Dude, the last company I worked for switched to using employee stock option. It was a disaster and that's why I left.
What? Why was it a disaster?
Well, everything was great at first. Since the company could pay us in stock without worrying about operating cash, all of the employees saw a big increase in pay. I saw some to pay the bills and held on to the rest of them as an investment. But most of the employees sold theirs, and this is where the problem started. Because there were so many shares on the market at one time, the value of the stock decreased. But the board of directors didn't re-evaluate the worth of the common stock, so they continued to pay us the same amount of shares that were now worthless. Typically, the board only re-evaluates the stock value every 6 months.
Wow, that sounds awful. Did it affect everyone in the company?
Yes, in fact, the executives were affected the worst. Most of them left when things got really bad. Only everyone was so caught up in the initial benefits of the employee stock option that they failed to realize that their shares were vested at 5 years.
That's it? What is that?
It's in the fine print. When a share is vested, it basically means you will lose it if you leave the company before the designated number of years.
So they lost all of the stock they were issued?
That's right. It's as if they never worked there. Luckily, I got out when things started to go south and managed to sell my shares for a reasonable loss. I think that is why the company's tanked. So many of us left when it started to look bad, and that flooded the market with even more stocks. That caused the demand for the stock to fall quickly, and so it became practically worthless as a form of payment.
Wow, I just don't know what to do now. I thought I have made a really good decision and I start on Monday.
It isn't too late then to do a little bit of research.
Employee stock option is a complicated and sometimes confusing form of employee compensation. Before taking a position that offers employee stock option, you should consider the following 3 things. Is the company's stock independently appraised? If the company's board of directors determines the stock value, the value may be biased. You should find out how frequently the stock is appraised. Some companies only appraise the value of their stock every 6 months. The true market value can change a lot during that time. Finally, find out if the stock is vested. If your stocks are vested, you may not be able to sell them if you leave the company early.